You are listening to the Honor and Conquer podcast with me, Dion Sekone-Fraser. Oh shit, Mr. Orlando Rios was nice enough to do two things for me. Give me a conference room to do the show in, and the video that you can see right there on the YouTube machine. He's been very nice enough to do this for me. It's making me look like I'm amateur. Thanks, man.
No problem, man. They call me a podcasting pro for a reason.
That's
it.
I don't
just do that for nothing.
Yeah, podcastingpro.com even, if you want to check it out that way. But thanks for even wanting to be on the show. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. We had a On It happy hour about a week or so ago, and we found out we like a lot of the same things. A lot of things about pro wrestling, Guns N' Roses, Tiger Army,
man,
all that stuff. So it's kind of cool.
It's funny when I found that out about you, just from rockabilly, psychobilly, that genre of the punk rock genre in general. When you told me about that, I don't know. There's something about that makes me go, man, that's awesome, because from then you created this, like, the zine that you created, and punk rock scene in general is just so DIY. And now you're here in this, like, $1 million company from this, like, little punk rock kid and to being here and on it. How did you even...
From rockabilly and, Lone Star beer every single night and tattooed babes to health and fitness.
Yeah.
How did that happen? Wow.
Where did that dramatic change even come in?
I don't know.
Yeah.
So I guess... The good place to start is, 18, 19 years old. I fell in love with rockabilly music. I saw Brian Setzer Orchestra first on a VH1 show with his big band, and then I fell in love with that. And then my brother got me the Stray Cat CD.
Okay.
And then from then it just kept going further back and further back. And then I fell in love with rockabilly. And then I was working at a newspaper, and then I figured out, hey, I kind of like journalism, and this is before, like, Google was even public as a company, as a corporation. And I was like, hey, this doesn't exist yet. And so I made that magazine for rockabilly, and I did that for 7 years, worked for myself through college. Actually dropped out of college because it was getting in the way. I literally...
Damn college.
Yeah, I got into Texas State, and then I landed a deal with Hot Topic to distribute the magazine, and they sent me like a $10,000 check. And I was 2 weeks into Texas State, and I'm like, what the hell am I doing here? And I dropped out, like, right away.
So Hot Topic approached you?
I went after Hot Topic because I was already in Tower Records, all the Tower Records.
No way.
And Borders and all that stuff. And I was like, there's something more I can do. Where else can I go? And I was like, Hot Topic, like... it's at the time, and it still has kind of a bad rap in a lot of ways. But the one thing I did know is, like, they don't have many magazines there. They have a handful. So if I knew if I can get in that crowd and be one of, like, 5 magazines in that rack, like, there's no competition. It's going to be great. So
you just make great content out of those 5 magazines.
Exactly.
And Hot Topic in general. Something I didn't have when I was growing up, like being a kid. I went to, like, girls' fashion stores and bought, like, black skinny jeans because I couldn't really find them anywhere else.
Yeah, they didn't have Hot Topic in your country, huh?
No Hot Topic in New Zealand. And the first time I saw Hot Topic was 4 years ago when I was in the mall, and I went in there. I was like, whoa, all these band T-shirts. Like, oh my gosh, holy shit. Actually, the T-shirt I'm wearing now, I still ordered it from Hot Topic. Like, it was I still love that genre of music, so every time I do go into a Hot Topic, it's kind of like, oh my gosh, man, I wish I had this when I was 15 or something. Yeah,
but at the same time, I kind of hate the accessibility that it gave to band T-shirts.
Yeah,
because it made it so easy for everybody to get them. Like, and there was a thing about going to the show, and getting the shirt that was like your prize.
Yeah,
and. So that's why it was a little embarrassing for me when I was, even at that age, high school, middle school, like, I was embarrassed to go to Hot Topic and get the band shirt because I was such a purist. I was like, oh, no, you're ruining everything, it's too corporate and all this stuff. But
Yeah.
You know, I guess it was cool.
And that's the thing. I guess it was
And
great.
then I made business with him and I took their
Yeah.
money.
And I took that $10,000 check.
Yeah.
And I made more money with it.
Exactly.
But no, you're completely right. It's like for me, when going into my first Hot Topic store when I was like 4 years ago, I was kind of like, wow, I was so starstruck. Man, it would be kind of crazy to be in the store and get my own gear and stuff like that. But you're right. When you do go to a store, you pay however $10, $20 for that band T-shirt. You know that it's going to support that band like then and there. It's going to get them like, I don't know, Burger King or McDonald's or something, you know, that just to get
plus
them
it's
by.
cool. It's like, hey man, where'd you get that shirt, that White Zombie shirt? Yeah, I went to the show last weekend. I went to Hot Topic in Corpus Christi's Mall and picked it up. My mom bought it for me.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's different.
Yeah, there's no story behind it. Well, there is a story behind it, but the other one is better than that one.
Yeah.
So along the way for you, like going through college, being in Hot Topic, getting out of Hot Topic, and now you're in this health and fitness arena, if you want to call it, this company. How did that change even happen from that?
Well, there's a gap we're missing, and I feel like I can't go further without telling you about the gap. And that gap is called Fleshlight. So if you're not familiar with Fleshlight, it's a male masturbation device. It's really popular amongst the internet. So, 7 years into doing the Rockabilly magazine, I worked from home. I didn't work with anybody. I was a one-man show, had some writers, but they worked through email. And I got kind of bored. I just got bored with everything. And it's like, maybe I should go out into the real workforce and, get a real job, and, work with other people, maybe learn some things. And so I went on Craigslist and I searched for a social media job because I was really good at social media. That's when MySpace was like super high, super on the high list of things. So I knew how to operate that really well. I built my brand on that stuff. And there's an ad. It was the first and only ad I ever responded to, and it was Fleshlight social media. And so,
did you know what this was at the time?
I knew.
Oh, really? Okay.
I knew what this was.
Okay.
And so I applied. I came in and I got the job. And so I worked at Fleshlight, which actually is the same building. This used to be Fleshlight offices.
No way.
Yeah, before. So I've literally been in this building for almost 10 years now. So before, On It took over this building, this used to be the Fleshlight building. And so I worked there for like 3 years. And in that period of time, gained a ton of weight. Working in that industry is not necessarily healthy and good. There's a lot of drinking and stuff in that industry. There's a lot of drugs in that industry. I got into a little bit of everything and got really fat, out of shape, drinking every single night and all that stuff. And then once that ended, Aubrey knew me from Fleshlight. It's no secret Aubrey's father-in-law is the owner of Fleshlight.
Oh, I didn't know.
So
that.
yeah.
Okay,
yeah. So he knew me from working for Fleshlight.
Gotcha.
And he knew that I had great social media skills and marketing skills. And once I ended. Got fired from Fleshlight.
Once I ended my contract.
Once they fired me from Fleshlight, I hit up Aubrey and be like, hey man, I'd love to come work for this company you're creating. At the time they only had 3 products. I think Alpha Brain, New Mood, Shumtech Sport.
Oh wow.
And they were just about to maybe launch Hemp Force. I think.
Wow.
It was a small office, there was less than 20 people working there. And he was kind of like, well, I know you know how to do social media. I don't know if you could connect with our audience because you're, no offense, you're not that into health and fitness. And I was like, you know what? He's like, I'll prove it to you. And and I changed the way I live, and I adopted the philosophies that On It has. Changed my diet through Mike Dolce, and the rest is history. Now I feel like I'm pretty goddamn good shape, and. And that's how I ended up here.
No way. So you've been in this building, let alone the companies, for 10 years.
Yeah, I think in this very office in the Fleshlight days, what's her name? Jenna Hayes was bent over somewhere around here.
What? Are you kidding me?
Maybe in the creative marketing room. I used to do the photography, and I think I don't even remember her name. I can't remember any of their name. Alexis Texas. Yeah, I was doing some shoots with her. That was what was now that room. So
What
I know
the
everything
fuck?
that's happened in this building
That
for like
is
the last 10
crazy.
years.
Do the crew in there know that you?
Oh yeah.
Oh, they have to know.
Everybody knows.
That's great.
Well, maybe your wife doesn't know yet.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's so cool to know that. I didn't even. Yeah, and that was the thing that I was trying to figure out was that gap that you just mentioned. Like, how did you even make that connection to here? Like, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
But there was another thing that struck my interest as well, and I heard you mention it briefly before I actually took off on a happy hour. Was you're really into astrology?
Yeah. Oh, astronomy.
Sorry, astronomy. What fascinates you most about that? Because you got a sleeve. Dedicated to it.
Yeah. I in that period of life there's a lot tied to those Fleshlight years, because I call those my dark years. And I've actually never really come public with that. Like, that industry, I can say these things now, is not good to be in. Mm-hmm. And I went down some dark ass roads. And the only thing that I think really saved me is, like, I decided to one day read Carl Sagan's book.
Okay.
And it just, even like the first couple of paragraphs of that book just like totally changed me. And I got absorbed with what is the universe. And what it's kind of hard to explain is, like, I liked feeling small.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
everything's so bigger out there. I mean,
and people put a lot of pressure on themselves. Mm. And so for the first year or two while I was working at Fleshlight, I was still doing Rockabilly Magazine on the side.
Oh, okay.
And I actually also, for 4 years, had my own Rockabilly music festival. And that got pretty big in the second to the last one I was still working at Fleshlight. And I mean, I had like Jerry Lee Lewis headline it.
What?
Like,
what was the name of the festival?
The Revival Festival.
The Revival Festival.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it started off as Texas Rockabilly Revival Festival, and then I just changed it to Revival Festival for short. So there's a lot of pressure and all this stuff, and I felt like there's like so many things connected to me, and I was like, didn't want to fail here, and I didn't know what to do with life.
Yeah.
And reading more about like how small the Earth's place is in the universe was very comforting for me. It took a lot of pressure off. I'm like, if I mess up this, it doesn't matter. If I don't do well here, it doesn't matter, And yeah, it just made me feel better, like not knowing everything, because when you think you know everything, that's when trouble happens.
Yeah, and that's good that you say it. Like, it's okay not to know stuff. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to know everything.
Yeah.
And it's funny because when people, so in Portland and everywhere I've been and gone, for some reason I'm the person that people talk to about certain problems, or like life problems, relationship problems, and in my head I'm thinking, I don't give a fuck. Like, I just don't care. And it's not because it's in a heartless way. It's more just because, like, you'll move on from this from like a year, in like a couple weeks, couple months. Like, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Like, are you going to go home? You got a home to go to? Got a bed to sleep in? You're all good. You got some food in the fridge, running water. It's all good. But just because, like, relationship or fucking, someone at my job, like, fucked me over, like, what can you do about it? Not much. Like, you can be a dick and go, you're a fucking asshole, but that's not going to get you very far. So it's funny because that's how I look at it, and that makes me feel comfortable. So when you look at how you look at it being this very small, minute piece in the universe, we're all part of something, but that something is something you don't know, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and it just comes down to we just all put too much pressure on ourselves.
Yeah.
And I think like self-awareness is a huge issue, and it can keep you up at night, and it can do so many bad things, make you make really bad decisions.
Yeah.
And just for me anyway, like just looking up at the open space and looking at the stars and just realize there's so much more out there.
Yeah.
And you know what this planet is and what it ends up being, how long it's going to be here, you know, before we all blow each other up or whatever is going to happen. It's like, it's minuscule, and you know, life to us seems long, but it may be just a spark in the whole grand scheme of things.
Yeah. Do you think there are other life forms out there?
Absolutely.
Yeah, right.
But not,
I think so too.
But not like in a way that, like, I don't think that we've been visited.
Yeah. Oh, really? So you don't think UFOs have been here, all that kind of stuff?
No, not from other planets. But if we're gonna go down a rabbit hole, like we're gonna have travel, I think it's interdimensional travel. But
interesting.
Outside of that, yeah, tons of life forms. But the like if you look at a grand scale of things, you look at a scale and you see the dinosaurs, they were here this long, right? Mm-hmm. You look at that scale and you look at humans. Humans have only been here in a small scale. And for people that are just listening, think about like a piece of paper of dinosaurs. Mm-hmm. That's the dinosaur length. And then think of like a pencil mark. That's humans on this life scale of Earth. Mm. Now, in when you look at that, like we think we've been here for a long ass time, but in that relativity, we've only been here for a snap of fingers, right? And we're gonna go extinct. Humans are not gonna live forever. There's just no way around it. We're you know, we kill each other all the time. You know, the planet's only gonna be here, you know, a couple more billion years, who knows? And eventually it's gonna end. So my thought process is that if there is life, and you look at the scale of time, you know, those are happening in that same instance too. Little sparks here and there, left and right, little sparks. And then you look at the vastness of space. Now, for us to even know each other, to be close enough to each other, to travel to each other, like we have to be relatively really close. Now, the possibility of two civilizations, intelligent civilizations, sprouting out at the exact same time in those two little sparks of time in the grand scale of time within a distance of each other, that is very, very small percentage.
Yeah, it's going to be very rare for that to happen.
Very rare.
So when you say that, so when you hear people have been, I think it was called Stardust Ranch. Do you know what Stardust Ranch is?
I can't put it.
What it's basically, there's a farm somewhere in America, and it's the most populated part where aliens keep coming by, and they'll come by and they call them grays. They'll abduct people just for the thing and take them up and bring them back down. So when you hear stuff like that, and you know, going off that the template of what alien looks like, big old green head, big old black eyes, do you believe that? No, let me put it in a different way. Do you think there is something like that in the universe?
You know, my weird theory on the whole grays thing is like that's not their actual bodies; that those are spacesuits. Because if you're an alien life form traveling through space and entering different atmospheres that you may not be used to, you need to wear a suit of some sort, no matter what kind of life form you are. You know, because there's some life form that's going to thrive on oxygen, there's some life form that's going to thrive on carbon. You know, it's going to be weird. So I think if that were the case, that what we see as an alien is maybe actually just like a bodysuit. Yeah. I mean, because look at our space.
I was going to say, like astronauts wear.
Yeah. You know, that's what they're going to be drawing all the farmers and the other time they get probed up the ass and everything. You know, they're going to be drawing our you know, Neil Armstrong, you know, in his spacesuit.
Do you do you think that we could live on Mars?
Yeah, I don't think we're too far away.
How long does it take to get there?
I think something like 3 months, maybe.
3 months to get there?
Maybe. I don't know. Don't quote me on that.
That's not bad. They have a bit.
I don't know.
They better have great amenities for the travel.
I don't remember the exact amount of time. I don't think it's years anymore. I'm not sure. I can't remember. I can't remember what the latest thing, but I know we're supposed to head there soon.
Whoa.
Like, I don't know. Elon. Is it Musk? He's the one that has SpaceX, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Elon Musk. Because I was thinking about Tesla earlier, so I didn't want to think oppositely. But Yeah, I mean, he thinks he can get a tourism ship there like by 2030, which is a little pushing it.
2030.
Yeah, but I guess once we get there, I guess we can kind of figure it out.
Would you? So if they approached you and they said, "So sorry, this is more. This podcast is kind of." I'm like, I don't give a fuck now. This is my show. I do what the fuck I want. It's turning into like UFO questions. If they gave you NASA or whatever, if they came to you and said, look, Orlando, you get to be a part of the very first ship that goes to Mars, would you like to go?
Absolutely.
You would be the first?
Yeah, and if they said I would definitely die there and I won't come back, I would still say yes.
You really?
Without a question. If they came into this room right now and say, but you got to leave right now and you can't tell anybody bye, I'd say yes.
Really?
Absolutely.
And it takes you 3 months to get there?
Yeah.
What
if that's the time.
It could be 3 years.
3 years, exactly. Yeah. I don't know.
So if they came in the room and said, hey man, you got to get going to Mars, and you say yes, and they said, no, you got to get up and go bye, would you tell your girlfriend that you say goodbye?
I'd probably just send her a text because she's not going to be happy.
Hey babe, I'm off to Mars.
She's gonna think I'm lying, but I would do what I can, and I hope she would realize like that's man's mission, is to explore.
Yeah.
That's what the spirit of a man's life is to explore things.
Yeah.
And to be like one of the first people to go to Mars.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
That's amazing. I don't care about legacy for my name or whatever in that aspect of thing, but like to see it with my eyes before
anyone else,
before what we know what life ends means.
Yeah.
Like that's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty sick. Would you? So coming back to planet Earth, there's a lot of controversy. I wanted to get your take on this.
Yeah.
Of the flat Earth theory.
Oh God, we have 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu just around the corner over here, and I know Curtis who runs it. I'm not sure if he's into the whole flat Earth thing, but I'm guessing Eddie Bravo kind of maybe sweated on him a little bit, and
really,
I think he's a flat earther. I'm not sure, but
really, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Hey.
That was a question I wanted to ask you. I didn't know.
People that think the Earth is flat should not be allowed to drive, vote. Don't get me, man. Yeah.
No, it was okay.
Come on.
So clear. So you're saying that the photos that NASA provides, there's no way it's photoshopped.
I mean, they're making it look nicer, but they're not changing. There's no benefit.
Yeah.
What's the benefit to what's the scam?
Yeah.
There is no scam.
Where do you think they even came from, the theory of flat Earth? And why has it become such a thing now? With all the information that we've got now in this world, right now in 2017, there are still people that believe that the Earth is flat.
I think it's just trolling, man. They're just like...
You think so, though?
I just think it's trolling. Our school system is severely failing if people think that there's a possibility of the Earth being flat. It makes zero sense whatsoever.
That was the thing. There was a documentary that Eddie Bravo said you should look into. It's on YouTube. So I gave it as an hour long. And I'm like, okay, I'll give it a chance. Like, I don't think the Earth is flat. I think it's round as fuck.
Yeah.
And I started watching it, and they just started, there's this guy just talking about through ancient times, and he had a picture of all these people who had lights shooting out of their foreheads, like kind of like that thing, and they were visualizing the future and on this flat Earth, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's just pictures. You're showing me pictures. I'm like, I gave up like 15 minutes into the damn thing. Like, I don't know why people believe that. I mean, each to their own, obviously. I mean, believe what you want to believe, but you're silly. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I mean, there has to be, if they're going to come out and scam us and try to make us believe one thing over the other, there has to be a benefit. There is no benefit to the Earth being like hidden, that it's flat. Like, there's no benefit. Nobody benefits from that.
Yeah. And do we rotate around the sun, or does the sun rotate around us?
Come on.
Come on.
What century are we in?
when I heard when
the eclipse there proven.
Yeah, it was just weird to me when that question came up, and I just lost it. It was on the Joe Rogan Experience. It was kind of on there, and it just blew my mind. I just couldn't believe that. Again, each to their own, but I just couldn't believe for myself that people just believe that the Earth is flat and that they're okay with that.
Yeah, I want to meet all these people and just, really find out why they're thinking this way. Yeah. There has to be a disorder of some sort.
There has to be something wrong.
I don't know.
So another thing that we bonded over as well actually was the first day that I came into on it to drop Megan off at work. I saw your calendar on the wall and it had Dean Ambrose on it. And I saw the Money in the Bank briefcase. I saw a little action figure of Ted DiBiase and Macho Man. I'm like, oh my gosh, WWE guy? Like, who is a fan of wrestling in here? Because wrestling these days, to be a fan of it, is just so boring. You know what I mean? It's just people think, oh, that's so lame. It's so fake. And it's like, yeah, I get it, but I enjoy the storylines. Like, I love seeing a story long term and seeing how they're going to execute it without injuries through that time. And I love the characters and the character building of it. And I'm trying to get Megan into it. It's like, it's a story. Just watch it for the story.
Yeah.
Just watch it for the story.
My girlfriend will watch it. She just calls it, all right, I'm going to go to the other room while you watch your violence. Like, it's acting.
Watch your violence.
Yeah. I'm going to go to the other room while you watch your violence.
That is too funny. So you've been a wrestling fan for your entire life?
My entire life. Really? I remember laying on my parents' bed, like watching Saturday morning WWF, like Ultimate Warrior, those dudes. And like getting the Game Boy game playing. Ultimate Warrior was my favorite growing up. And that's crazy. Yeah, just my whole life. And then even like middle school, the Attitude Era, NWO. And I wasn't much of a WCW guy, but when NWO came out, that was sick. And like he had like your friends, they were like, we're WCW guys and we're WWE guys.
Yeah.
Like Stone Cold Steve Austin or NWO,
Yeah.
It was fun.
So that's crazy that you had Saturday morning wrestling, because in New Zealand, you actually had to wait up till 1 a.m. to watch pay-per-views, like to watch a SummerSlam, to watch something else like that. And I was too young to watch it. So my cousins would record it on VHS, and they had stacks of it, like SummerSlam 1990, SummerSlam 91, WrestleMania, Royal Rumble 1989, and I'm watching it all, and I'm like, oh man, this is so cool. The Hart Foundation were my favorite tag team, and Ultimate Warrior was my favorite guy too. Rick the Model Martel was one of my favorites too. But yeah, during middle school or intermediate, what we call it back home, during middle school, we didn't get wrestling at all. Like, it was banned in New Zealand.
Wow.
But we had the pay-per-views on VHS that you can go to Blockbuster and rent. So the only way for you to know what was going on was just by the pay-per-views that come out like once a month or something like that. Didn't even get the TV shows. So it was just you get the pay-per-views, whatever it was, Rebellion, and you get the shit pay-per-views that were in like England, Rebellion UK or something, bullshit like that. But yeah, the Attitude Era was like a big thing on VHS. But then New Zealand TV got WCW, and that was on every Friday night at 10 p.m. and I would just watch WCW. So I was a full WCW guy because that's...
Is that before Nitro?
During Nitro. That was when Nitro was a thing.
Yeah, because before Nitro happened, before Eric Bischoff came into the picture, WCW sucked.
Oh,
it was like
I see.
So lame.
Okay.
It was just super, super lame. Like, they didn't even tour. Like, they filmed them all at like one studio.
Yeah.
And it was just so lame.
Yeah. And that's it. Like, when Nitro was a thing, we'd watch that every Friday night at 10 p.m. And pay-per-views were free to air. You didn't have to pay for it anything because, I don't know, New Zealand TV, I don't know.
And then freaking being like, 13, 12, that area where you start to discover yourself. And women and all stuff. Man, the girls, the valets that they had at that time, like Sable.
Yeah.
And... yeah.
Sable, Miss Elizabeth got really sexy as well. Who else was a valet in that? Alundra Blaze, but she was more of a wrestler.
The Stacy Keibler.
Yeah, that's right. Fuck, who else? Did you watch? Did you fuck around with ECW?
Not at that time. No, we didn't get it on any television. I had no way of getting it, even in Texas. Yeah.
No way. Yeah, and so we got ECW pay-per-views on VHS at our local like convenience store that you can rent.
Yeah.
And we just watched those pay-per-views.
So I'm going to tell you this story. So let's see. Do you know Debra McMichael?
Yes.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Puppies?
Yeah.
Right? So out of all the wrestling girls like that came along, were you ever kind of like, man, those chicks are hot. Man, if I had one opportunity.
I never. For Terry Runnels, Goldust's manager.
Yeah.
Long day. Her. Yes.
So, I have a story.
Fuck off. Fuck off. Okay, go on.
So, when I was 20 years old and I had the Rockabilly magazine going, I was probably about I think it was only like a year, right? So. And I was living in South Texas at the time, and I decided I wanted to put on a show. So I rented out Antone's, which was then downtown Austin. It's not the same Antone's that's there now. Okay. So I put on my Rockabilly magazine first anniversary party, and I got like Lee Rocker to come out and play, and
sick.
Some local Rockabilly and Sackabilly bands. And so there they have this. At this Antone's that used to be, they had this upper layer, like kind of like a VIP area. So I was up there just watching the show and everything. And these two chicks come up and they're sitting far away. And I'm just sitting there by myself and my friends, like, I mean, I'm only 20. I shouldn't even be renting out the place, but they didn't ask once I got there because I rented it over the internet. So, you can't.
How old are you, kid?
I don't think you can rent a bar to a 20-year-old, right?
Yeah.
But they just kind of like, whatever. And oh shit, I hope I get him in trouble. But
you won't.
It's a long time
it's
ago.
It's all good.
But anyway, so I'm sitting up there and my friend, who's also a wrestling fan, he's like, dude, I think that's Debra McMichael. And I'm like, no way. I'm like, no, why would she be here? It makes no sense.
Psychobilly, rockabilly.
And like, this is weird because like, dude, when I fucking like, how vulgar can I get on this?
Go for it. Fucking gives a shit.
So like when you first like start jacking off, like that was like Debra McMichael was like
that was it.
Was like the one, right? And so I looked over, I was like, holy shit, it is. And so she sees me look at her or whatever. I'm like, holy crap. And this is around the time, like just after the whole Stone Cold Steve Austin incident where like he like beat her or whatever it was. You know, it was like all over the news.
Okay. That was pretty deep into it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway.
Yeah, but it's like, and so they had broken up already. I don't think she wasn't really with WWF anymore at the time. And so her friend comes over and is like, hey, my friend wants to meet you. And I'm like, what? I'm like, she's like, can I bring you over? I was like, yeah. So Debra McMichael comes over and sits next to me. He's like, oh, hi. It's like, I love this music. I love what you're doing here. And that's awesome. And she's like, and also, wow, you have the nicest teeth. And wow, I love your hair. And I'm like, oh shit, is like Debra McMichael? Because then I'm 20 at the time, and her time she's probably like 40 something.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
still smoking.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I think she's kind of like into it. Yeah, you know. So I was just like nervous and everything, and so I'm having some beers and stuff. We're having drinks. Talking.
Whoa.
And she's like, let's take photos. And so she sits on my lap and we're taking photos. And so me, 20-year-old me with these old fantasies in my head, I just go for it.
Yeah.
And so she made out with me, like
what
we're all making out.
Are you
and she's
serious?
like, after the show, you should come with me and my friend to Stubbs. And
what Stubbs?
It's a music venue here in town. And I was like, okay. So gave me her card and has her number on it. And so it turns out I didn't get to go. So now I have in my head, what could have happened?
Wait, you didn't go?
I didn't go. And the reason I didn't go is because I didn't know if she knew that I was 20. And I knew I couldn't get into that place unless I was 21. It's like, this is going to be embarrassing. Like, I'm not going to. She's like, she had a limo and everything. I'm like, I'm going to get in this limo. I'm going to go with her there. And then I can't get in. It's going to be embarrassing. So I didn't go. And to this day, I kind of regret it.
Fuck.
And I called her the next day on the phone.
And
didn't answer, got a voicemail.
Oh,
and
no.
I'm like, shit.
Fucking hell.
But I got to make out with Debra McMichael, which is pretty sweet. I have a cool photo. I'll take a photo of it on my cell phone. I have it in a box.
No way.
I'll send it to you.
My gosh, I need to see that shit.
And I'm like, I have my hands all over and shit. Like,
no way.
Yeah.
I need to see that for sure. I need to see that.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite stories.
That's an awesome story. That's a fucking killer story to bring out to like a wrestling fan. Yeah. If you said it to anyone else, they would have been like, who Debra McMichael?
Debra McMichael, if you're out there, I know you're still hot. You know where to find me. My teeth are still good.
Teeth are great. My hair's on point.
Yeah.
Just let's go to Stubbs again.
Yeah.
Let's make this dream
I can
happen.
go now.
I can go right now. I'm all good.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. I don't have any cool stories like that, especially with like famous people.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have any cool stories like that. That's a fucking cool story.
I've never told my girlfriend that story for obvious reasons.
Really?
No. She wouldn't know. One, she wouldn't know who Debra McMichael is. Two, she'd probably just think I'm gross.
Oh, what the fuck? I remember seeing, it's funny because you mentioned that, this isn't a celebrity thing, but Megan, my wife, we were at a grocery store and she saw this girl who was covered in tattoos, and I said, "Oh yeah, that's my ex-girlfriend on that cover." I was like, "Oh really?" I'm like, "Yeah, she used to be a porn star. Now she's like a rap artist and shit." And then she got really self-conscious. I'm like, "Oh whoops, my bad. I guess I shouldn't have done that." You're my girlfriend. You're fine. You're with me now.
Yeah.
At the time we were dating. But yeah, fucking, and you're a massive wrestling fan, which is great, which is awesome. And you text me the other day saying that you want to go to Waco. I don't know where Waco is. I know I passed
you just got here.
Yeah. I said to
it's not a place I'd like to really go either. You know, it's not the best city in the world. I mean, it's known for David Koresh.
Who's that?
This crazy guy who like had this like whole cult and stuff like that.
What?
Yeah. But that was a long ass time ago. But
what's long as time ago?
When I was a kid, so maybe like, I don't know, 15.
Yeah, 10 or so ago.
Years. Yeah, something like that. Geez, but now, people know it for having Baylor University, I guess now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, then I did pass through it. I did see it because it reminded me of Finn Balor.
Yeah.
I was like, Balor, same diff. So I've seen on your Instagram page all the WWE guys that come through the On It Gym.
Mm-hmm.
And there was actually a photo that you had with Charlotte, pointing out to your Guns N' Roses T-shirt, and you're a massive Guns N' Roses fan.
Hell yeah,
you're a huge Guns N' Roses fan. What about that band that makes you love them so much?
I think it's childhood, man, because it's the first like rock band that like my brother showed me.
Yeah,
and it was like Dangerous or whatever it was.
Like
and
edgy.
Yeah, and you know, I was, by the time I discovered them, they were already on like Use Your Illusion 2.
Oh, really?
So,
okay. They're already deep into their career.
So I wasn't even into Appetite for Destruction or anything yet. But I don't know. When I was a kid, I think it was the music videos. They were always so lavish and badass. And then I started listening. My parents got me both of the CDs, the Use Your Illusion series for Christmas one year, and I just didn't listen to anything else.
Wow.
And
you didn't even have Appetite for Destruction?
No.
No way.
Yeah, it's not even my favorite album.
Wow.
Which most people that is, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But, and then I bought the spaghetti. I bought the Spaghetti Incident before I ever bought Appetite for Destruction, which is a sin.
Wow. And that's considered a pretty shit
and I like
album.
Chinese Democracy.
Really?
I don't care what anybody says.
How long did it take for them to come out with that album?
Like 8 years.
Dang, man.
But, just always, I don't know, it's the band I have a connection to, and it's a band that I like, because when I think about it, so I went to their first reunion show. Before this reunion show, I saw Axl's Guns N' Roses several times, and I went to Vegas to see him a couple of times, saw him in Dallas, but the first reunion show with Slash and Duff, I got pit tickets to the very first one after they did their Hollywood intro show, and then they did one in Las Vegas. And I was right in front of Slash, and just every single song, every single guitar solo, dude, it hit me like ton of bricks. Wow. Just because I lost my dad when I was 19, right?
Okay.
So I just took me on a tour back to childhood and my parents and my brothers, me, my brother and sister, watching MTV.
Whoa.
And just family things,
just feel that shit.
Yeah, it just brought me back to those
That's
days.
awesome.
So that's what the huge connection is.
Even so you went to their first reunion tour, and was that with the full crew, like Duff McKagan / was that with the full crew?
Yeah.
And so hearing that and / playing it, was that just like,
dude,
whoa?
November Rain, like when Slash hit that first solo, dude, fucking tears.
Really?
Tears came out.
No way.
Tears came out. And
I'd
I
agree
was just
with that.
like, and I was just thinking, and, you know, it's nothing weird. It's just like I was thinking about like my family and like the stuff we've been through and like, you know, growing up together, spending Christmas together, you know, all that kind of stuff back when I was a kid. So that's what it really like kind of hit me.
It's funny. It's
cool
funny
thing.
how much of a music is a landmark in your life,
Mm-hmm.
and it does take you back on the CD in your car, seeing it fucking live.
Yeah.
It's crazy how lost in it you can kind of get, not in like a fruity tooty type of way, but you just really relate to that song, that first guitar solo that Slash plays on whatever. And when so like for me, Appetite for Destruction is like one of those albums that I learned all of the drums to. Like I learned Welcome to the Jungle first. That was one of my favorite ones, and I would pretend that I was playing live. I've never seen Gunners live. I've never seen them live.
They're coming to San Antonio.
Really?
Yeah, September.
You gonna go to that show?
Yeah. On it for my 5-year anniversary, they got me a hotel room, a suite.
The fuck?
in San Antonio.
Serious?
Yeah, and I just got my ticket. I bought a pit ticket on eBay. I hope it's real.
I hope it's legit now.
Yeah, exactly.
Nah, man, that's for me. It's just the Gunners, Appetite for Destruction, Brownstone, everything. Just playing the drums, pretending that I am like a part of the band, pretending that I'm playing it live. It's in my bedroom, teaching myself how to play drums, like in my shitty bedroom that I had when I was a kid. But it's funny how that song has a different landmark than November
different.
Rain, Use Your Illusion 1 and 2. You know, and I didn't really get into those albums. Like I listened to them, don't get me wrong, and I heard them. I love them. But Appetite for Destruction is my jam.
Yeah.
Which one did you love? Because I loved Use Your Illusion 2.
You know, when I was a kid, Use Your Illusion 2 was probably my favorite album in the grand scheme of things. But probably my favorite song when I was a kid was November Rain.
On Use Your Illusion 1. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I think that was the most popular one.
Yeah.
I just wanted to have Use Your Illusion 1 because it had the OG version of Don't Cry.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved how it was on both albums, and it had the alternate.
Yeah, that shit
lyrics.
Fucks me up all the time because like when I listen to it, like I'm mixing versions of the lyrics
me too.
in my head, and so I mess up.
Yeah, whenever I hear it on the radio, I'm like, "What the fuck? Which one am I singing right now?"
Yeah.
Like out loud by myself. The guy with Blind Blind Melon? He was a part of that in Use Your Illusion 2.
I don't know. I'm not entirely sure.
Fuck, I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't even know which version it is they play when they play it live. I'm not sure which version he's singing.
I think it's I think it's on the first album with the first Use Your Illusion 1. I think that's the one that they have on like MTV Video, all that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Did you ever fuck around with like grunge when that was a big thing during the the Attitude Era?
Yeah. I mean, like I wasn't really into it that much. Like I liked like Nirvana and stuff like that, and I guess people still consider Pearl Jam grunge, I guess.
Yeah. I think they've gotten older. I mean, yeah, I guess they're still considered grunge band.
Yeah, but that was the extent of it. I mean, I was usually, I think after Guns N' Roses, the only other band I really got into was Tool.
Really?
But that was it.
That's a vast difference too.
Yeah.
What about Tool that got you into it?
My brother again.
Really?
My brother was like guitar playing dude. Like he's older than me by 4 years. So like he kind of showed me all the cool music, So whatever he liked, I kind of liked,
Do you play? Oh, of course you play an instrument. Guitar, right? No.
Yeah.
Guitar.
I play guitar. I can play some piano, bass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw actually an Instagram video of you singing the Smith song.
Yeah, I was in a Morrissey tribute band for
what?
a couple years.
So that was a band? I thought it was karaoke.
No, that was karaoke.
Oh, okay.
But several years ago, I was in a tribute band called the Smites. And yeah, we toured and we played a House of Blues and all that stuff. Yeah, so I played guitar in a Smith's tribute band.
That's so fucking cool.
Because I actually love Morrissey,
Really?
Yeah, I'm a big Morrissey guy.
I got a Morrissey tattoo on my wrist.
Yeah,
like, that's it right there. And the lyrics
I hope it's not the same as mine.
What's your lyrics?
Mine says "Trouble Loves Me."
Oh no, I've got "Every Day is Silent and Grey."
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I love Morrissey and I love the Smiths, but every time I listen to it, Megan's like, "Why is he so sad?" I'm like, "Can we just listen to it for fuck's sake?"
Morrissey's such a weird phenomenon because it's like it's very almost like feminine type music, right? It's like very hoo-ha, poor me, but he gets like the most tough dudes to his show, like in California, in Mexico City, like huge gangs, cholos, like come out to his shows and like they'll defend him to the day they die.
Whoa.
And it's like hard ass dudes who like kill people and shit. Like they fucking love Morrissey. It's
shit.
a weird ass thing. I don't know what it is.
Fucking hell, man. That's so funny. I remember having the opportunity to go see Morrissey. I didn't actually go see Morrissey, but I had the opportunity to go see Morrissey. And he was just, he was a little older. He couldn't really move around too much on stage. So because he had to conserve his energy for his voice. And I saw like just video of it from the big screen. I didn't get to go, but I saw it selling merch on the outside. Selling Kanye West sunglasses for $5. But yeah, it was just weird to see him in that state because I only know him from the flamboyant early Smiths days, and I mean, and that's a painful reminder that everyone kind of gets old.
Yeah, he is. He's having a lot of trouble these days. So
with what?
I don't know. I know he's had like his throat scraped a lot. I guess for some kind of tumor or cancer or something several times. So, like, he was supposed to come play here in San Antonio, and I had tickets to each show, and they canceled like 3 times in a row. Whoa. So, I don't know if I'll get to see him again, but
fucking hell.
I think he's getting close to calling it quits.
Yeah, he has to at some point. He has to.
Yeah.
But I love Morrissey, and I remember when I was listening to the Smiths for the first time, and I stupidly said to my ex-girlfriend, I said, "Man, Morrissey just makes it all okay to be sad." I still remember me saying that in the car, and I'm like, why the fuck did I say that? Like, where the fuck did that come from? So weird.
It's okay to be balanced, you know. You don't have to be one way or the other. Like it's good shit, and it can speak to you. One of his lines is like, when in the song like "Hang the DJ" is like, he doesn't speak to me about my life. Yeah. Like, and that's what music is supposed to be. Like, that's why Guns N' Roses grabs me so hard. That's why some Morrissey songs grab me so hard, because it speaks to me about my life. Yeah. Right?
I totally agree. Yeah. And when I got this Morrissey tattoo done, like at the time I was like, fuck, I was going through like a little bit of a rough patch, and I was literally...
Everybody that has a Morrissey tattoo was going through a rough patch.
Through something, exactly. Yeah. And I was like, I related to the song, like, "Every Day is Silent and Grey." I'm like, yeah, it kind of is, man. Yeah. Like, I want to get this tattooed. Like, I do. And I always look at it and go, I remember the day I got it done, the weather it was, how I was feeling, the guy who did it to me, like, just everything about that time.
Same thing here, man, with My Trouble Loves Me. Me and my girlfriend of 2 years had broken up, and I was like really down about it. Yeah. And I was just listening to that song on repeat. Went to get a haircut because I had a show that night. I was in a rockabilly band, and stopped at this shitty tattoo shop, and they did a shitty ass job on it. Really? And it's like, I want it right here because I want to play tonight with my sleeves rolled up, and I want people to be able to see it like right there. Wow. So
I want it right here, man. I want to roll it up and everything. Yeah. Just the sleeve, not the other one.
Maybe she'll see it.
Yeah. Jeez. What you think of when you're that young.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So shifting gear, here on it, the HQ, that's where we are right now. You host the Total Human Optimization podcast, and you've been doing that since, 2015?
So when we first started, Aubrey was mainly hosting it, and I was just producing, and then I started kind of doing it because his schedule got busier, and so now pretty much I'm full-time hosting it now. He has his own podcast that he likes to do too. So
because that's what I thought when I was so I always tell Megan, it's crazy that I am in the Onnit HQ because I've been an Onnit fan for years and years, and I still, even in New Zealand, Now I can't believe that I'm in this room surrounded by these like, you know, these fucking news articles and all this kind of shit, sitting here with you in Honor HQ. It still fucking blows my fucking mind. But but I remember listening to the podcast and thinking that that was Aubrey's show, and then all of a sudden this new guy comes along. And who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah, and there's some Aubrey fans that are like, I fucking hate that guy. Like, I hate Orlando's voice. And I'm like, man, these people are mean. You know, it's like, it's either I do it or the show dies. I'm sorry.
Yeah, right, exactly.
You know, and I don't claim to be Aubrey. I'm not trying to be Aubrey. I don't claim to have all this knowledge and everything. And as I was telling you earlier, is like, I play the role of, I don't know anything about health and fitness. And I'm talking to these experts, you know, taking it from a normal person's view who has that same average knowledge of health and fitness, and ask those basic questions that people want to know and want answers to, you know? So, I mean, I think it's a great show.
Yeah.
I think it's doing okay.
And you, going back to what you said, you know, you're playing the, I don't know anything about, you know, this. And I think that's actually better. You know what I mean? Like it gives them a chance to explain what they do, who they are, and how they can improve you or the person that you know. Yeah. Either health or fitness or both. You know what I mean? Because they're going to help, obviously, both. But I love that that's the role that you play. And you're a co-host, or you're the main host? Because I know Sean's in it too.
Yeah, Sean kind of helps me out. So Sean has all the health and fitness knowledge. So I bring him along on the side to, you know, to get in a little deeper of some of the health and fitness questions. But he's not on it all the time. So yeah, but you know, whenever I have like a big guy like that's super huge in health and fitness, I bring Sean along to get in some of the deeper areas of those things.
So you need him to like balance it out a little bit, right?
Yeah, you know, we're kind of like, you know, we're a good mix, because you know he has a ton of information, and then I have the ability to like route the show, you know, keep it in the right path and within the right time constraints, and you know, ask the basic questions. You know?
And so with your podcasting journey, like, is it something that you have always enjoyed doing? I mean, because you've turned from producing the show, being behind the camera and behind the microphone on the different side, to being the host. Is it something that you've always been interested in or been fascinated with?
I kind of just like fell into it. It wasn't just, you know, and I got an interest in how everything works. And you know, is it my passion? I get asked that all the time because I have the podcasting site and everything. And like, I'm not sure.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I have the knowledge.
Yeah.
And I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and that's, it's funny because I've been doing the show for like 3 years now. And people have asked me the same question, like, is it your passion? I'm like, well, if my passion is talking to people, yeah, I guess so. But like, it's, the only difference is that we've got microphones in front of us and I've pressed the record button. Yeah. That's like the only thing that's different. Otherwise, I would probably have a normal conversation with whoever I've got on the other side of that microphone any other time, any other place. So it's a weird question to be asked that. Like, do you love doing it? I'm like, do I love talking to people? Because yeah, fuck yeah, I love it. Yeah. It's just such a weird question that I get asked a lot that I don't have a real proper answer to.
Of course, there's days where I'm just like, man, I don't really feel like doing this, but you know, because we are the ship that is on it, you know, and it's my responsibility to have a show to put out every single week. Oh yeah, and it's tough. It's work. It's definitely work. So it's not always, you know, fun and games, but you know, there's awesome days where I get to sit across from Seamus or you know somebody like that,
the fucking Shield,
and you know, and ask those cool questions that I've always wanted to ask. So.
Yeah. And it's funny because when I was watching the Sheamus video, I was like, he's such a fucking wrestling fan, and I'm a wrestling fan, so this is fucking great.
Yeah.
Like I
usually go in with notes. That one didn't even need them.
Really?
Like, straight into it.
Yeah, and that was funny because I was like almost happy for you because you're a wrestling fan. You get to be across the fucking, you know, table from Sheamus.
He makes me look so tiny. He's this big ass white blob on screen.
But he makes you also look very tan.
Yeah, it's all the soccer playing.
That's it. All the soccer playing.
And I'm Mexican.
Yeah.
That kind of helps too.
So you've, the host of the Total Human Optimization podcast, you've got that role and you mentioned it briefly at the beginning and just before. You've got that website going on, is it Pro Pod? No, Podcast Pro.
Podcasting Pro.
Podcastingpro.com. And I was going through it the other night just because I submitted my podcast for the book of 2018. So what is the website all about for people who maybe want to know what it is all about? Like how I noticed that it's a great tool for people who want to start doing podcasting. Is that correct? But
yeah. So it kind of started out as just like a site to help people start their own podcast. Because as I became the host, and even as I was just producing for Aubrey, even like guests, he would come in, would always ask me questions like, what mic should I use? What's the best way to set up a podcast? Everybody it's a question I got so many times. So it's like, well, hey, it looks like there's an opportunity here. Like I have the information. So I wrote a little book about it, and then I started the site and just put all that together. So to help people, figure it all out, because it can be a little challenging at first, knowing what to do, and it can get expensive if you don't have the right information. As far as equipment goes, and everybody wants their podcast to sound awesome, so editing tricks and tips and all that kind of stuff. But then I kind of started getting interested about how other big time podcasts do things, and I thought there needed to be a news outlet as podcasts continue to grow. So now I do news and features, and one of my favorite things I do on the site now is I do what I call podcaster profiles of major podcast hosts. Actually, today I just released one with Drew Ackerman of a podcast called Sleep With Me. It's in the health category, and the whole podcast goal is to help you fall asleep. So he is boring on purpose.
Oh, really?
It's a great podcast, and it's always like one of the top 2 podcasts in the health category on iTunes. So, it's like doing profiles with those people, ask them how they started, find out their workflow, just so that people that come into the site that are maybe just fans of podcasts can get a little view of the work that it takes to make the show, but also people that want to start their own podcast, they can get information from these people who literally took it on their own from beginning to where they are now, to getting like millions and millions of downloads. Just get a little inspiration. Yeah,
that's awesome. Like, I'm with you on that. Like, I get the same questions asked me all the time. Like, what's the great microphone? What's a great video camera, or whatever? What's a good setup? And I think I don't know. I don't know the right answer, but I know what a good answer is for me, and I know what makes it work. And the fact that you got that website going on, I think it's an easy to navigate website. That's what I noticed as well. Like, you can get around with it, how to get your podcast on like iTunes, all that kind of jazz. It's broken down in a very simplistic way that you don't get lost in the jargon. You know what I mean? Like, you got to get your RSS link and da-da-da-da-da. It's like, what the fuck is an RSS link? I'm like, well, fuck, man. I don't know how to explain it to you, but like, it's broken down in the most easiest way. And I'm very visual. Like, I need to see the pictures.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I'd rather just see pictures.
Yeah, me too. So when I see it, it's like, oh, that picture looks like what I'm looking at. Cool. And they've highlighted that link. Okay, that's what I need to do. Like, it makes life a little easier, and that's what that website is. So I think it's a great tool. So if you want to start your own podcast, motherfuckers, podcastingpro.com is where you need to go. But I think we'll call it there, my man. Thanks for wanting.
You got to do it again. I feel like there's so much more we can talk about.
Yeah, for sure. I'm so keen to do it again. Yeah, 100%.
You could do a whole episode on Morrissey.
Yeah. How he just relates to us.
Yeah, exactly. Let's get real deep.
Yeah, and we'll just start getting emotional about it. But thank you very much, bro. I really appreciate you taking the time to do the show for me. And for you motherfuckers, we're gone. We're out. Goodbye.